Now at 6, we are tracking rain and snow. More snow is going to be moving in. I'm going to have those details.
Plus, a bipartisan group of Kansas lawmakers moved to pass a tax reform bill that could save Kansans $1 billion. And community boosters in Quapaw, Oklahoma step in to help save part of the public schools athletic program.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Roads are wet across the area and already slick in some places. Although traffic is not having much of a problem at the moment, that could change. This is KOAM News at 6. I'm Dow Quick. The 4 states gets its first real taste of winter with rain and the possibility of more snow on the way. Let's go straight to Chief Meteorologist Doug Heddy for a first look at the weather.
Yeah, really most areas along and north of Interstate 44 at least got a rain-snow mix during the morning hours and sleet. And the farther north you worked, the conditions got worse throughout the morning. Eventually, we did switch all over to rain. You can see our temperatures upper 30s to lower 40s in our southern counties. We're going to hang in the upper 30s for a good chunk of the night, and then our temperatures will start to drop late tonight into tomorrow morning. Winter weather advisory in effect for a good chunk of the region. This is for light to moderate snow, which is going to push in late tonight. We're on the front half of the system. Mainly rain. We're going to cut it down to drizzle as we go through the rest of the evening hours. So we still have about another hour of light rain. You can see snow mixing in over toward Aurora and also Monette. And then we're going to see drizzle, and then on the back side of the system, snow is going to work in once again late tonight. So we're going to be talking more about all of that here in just a bit.
Catch you in a few. Kansas Governor Laura Kelly today partnered with a bipartisan group of 24 state lawmakers to announce a tax reform bill. The proposal would immediately eliminate the state sales tax on groceries rather than waiting until 2025. The state's tax on Social Security benefits would also be eliminated. It would also create a 4-day back-to-school sales tax holiday every August and increase standard deductions for state income taxes. It would last for 3 years and is projected to save Kansans $1 billion. Quapaw Public Schools are expanding and updating their gymnasium, but that might mean sacrificing the girls' weight room. However, an organization is stepping in to help. KOAM's Amber Jenkins has more.
Quapaw Public Schools are trying to stay ahead of their growth through a bond that was approved for additional seating in the gym, but at the cost of the girls' weight room.
Where the current weight room is right now for our girls and for the junior high, we're pretty much going to be losing that because of additional seating.
We use it a lot, like during the summer, because it's summer workouts. We usually lift and then we come in here and we run a lot, or go outside and we run because, trying to get in shape.
The girls' weight room is set to close in 2 months after the last basketball game. Seeing the pending lack of resources for the sports program, the community boosters had a plan.
We reached out to them and said, hey, we think that we can raise enough money to build a building to house not only a weight room, but possibly a locker room for the girls' softball team, because we lack that also.
The community boosters hope to hit their goal of $40,000 by May 1st, so by next school year, the girls would not be without.
We will match anything that is given. We've already matched about half of that, about $2,500. So we are actually have raised right at $17,000 so far to go towards the project.
Without that for the girls, it just kind of, where are we supposed to get better and get faster and get stronger if we have nowhere to work out?
Reporting in Quapaw, Amber Jenkins, KOAM News.
The next fundraiser is the Dancing with the Stars competition. That's going to be on February 10th. Carthage School District announces a student at Steadley Elementary has a confirmed case of Neisseria meningitis. The district is working with the Jasper County Health Department to take necessary precautions, including a deep cleaning of the school and contact tracing. Officials say if a child shows symptoms, including fever, headache, stiff neck, rash, or anything unusual, to seek medical attention. Officials also say do not go to the ER seeking antibiotic prophylaxis. Sites collecting blood across 4 states are participating in a unique national incentive program for blood donors. The Red Cross and the National Football League have joined forces as the nation faces the lowest number of blood donors in decades. Anyone who gives blood, platelets, or plasma in January through the Red Cross will automatically be entered for a chance to win a trip for two to Super Bowl 58 in Las Vegas. To find information on area sites and to make an appointment, go to this story on our website. That's KOAMnewsnow.com. The Cherokee County Sheriff's Office celebrates the retirement of one of its K-9 officers. K-9 Keo here served the Sheriff's Office for 7 years with his handler, Sergeant Chris Wren. During his service, K-9 Keo aided in fugitive apprehensions, the discovery of illegal narcotics, and also helped with anti-drug presentations at area schools. K-9 Keo also earned his certification from the North American Police Working Dog Association. Of course, we wish him the best in his brand new life. Good boy. Later in sports, a name familiar to PSU fans makes his transition from player to coaching staff. John has details on the football program's latest move, but first, a cold weather shelter program in Springfield opens its doors back up in spite of the behavior of some of the clients.
Applied water heater. Schedule now at gopascal.com.
Springfield's Crisis Cold Weather Shelter program will not have its shelters open tonight, but its nightly meals at Grace United Methodist Church are back open. They stopped for 3 days last week. As Joe Hickman reports, the closure happened because of some unacceptable behavior.
From November through March, every evening at 5:30 at the back of the Grace United Methodist Church in downtown Springfield, a line of people can be found seeking a free meal.
It's definitely geared towards those that are experiencing homelessness, but of course anybody in the community is welcome to come.
These days, the average turnout is more than 200 people.
I am very grateful that I'm able to come here.
And there's always a need for more volunteers.
Seeing the need and knowing there's not enough people to fill the need, what little bit we can do is better than nothing.
Those meals are a godsend for those who wouldn't be getting food otherwise. But this past Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, the doors were closed at the church as the meals were halted because of a handful of people's more aggressive behavior and not following the guidelines posted at the door and disrespecting volunteers and other patrons.
Fortunately, we haven't necessarily had many escalate to the physical, but just folks that maybe aren't following the rules or maybe are being a little bit disrespectful to the property.
The stopping of meals at Grace did not affect the availability of the 7 shelters around town that are open when the temperature drops below 32 degrees at night.
Folks still had access to shelters and meals were delivered to the shelters. So folks still had their basic needs met. We just removed sort of the convenience of having it all done in one location.
And last night there was a town hall meeting where organizers made clear to the patrons that things had to change.
There were a lot of individuals that stood up and said, yeah, we see the disrespect among those that are in this population. We see the cigarette butts being left. We see the dog poop being left on property. It was kind of a reassurance, is like, great, you do understand that we don't have to do this, but we're doing this because we care.
While those under the influence of alcohol and drugs are allowed in the building,
if you bring those drugs or alcohol or do that on the property, we're going to have an issue.
And for those thinking of volunteering who might be wary now because of concerns over unruly or violent behavior,
I would just reassure you that that is not a concern. The reason we did this was simply just to do a reset, and so that things don't escalate to that point.
A little later, the Chiefs prepare for the postseason and their first opponent. John's going to have a preview coming up in sports.
Plus, we have more rain and snow, which is going to be heading our direction. We're going to look at that coming up next.
It is a start something.
Well, of course, a rainy day for us today. We need the moisture, and we had quite a bit of rain across the region, which is great. But the road's a little bit on the slick side. Plus, we did get some snow and sleet, especially during the morning hours. Thankfully, our temperatures kind of warmed above freezing for all of us as we worked into the afternoon. It's windy. We're looking downtown Joplin, of course. Our Cornell Arts and Entertainment Complex tower came off toward the north and to the east. All right, rainfall amounts today, almost an inch of rain. That's pretty much where we sit for the month, so we're doing pretty good. But now we're going to get a little bit of snow on the backside. That's why we have a winter weather advisory in effect till 6 p.m. tomorrow. Kansas, Missouri, Arkansas, Oklahoma, and a sliver of Kansas not in it, as you will get a little bit less snow as we go through the overnight hours tonight. Where you do see the brighter greens, this is showing us at least an inch of rain. Rainfall amounts have been a little bit less. Iola, Chanute, and Fredonia, but you all have picked up a little bit of snow as well. All right, let's look at this storm system. We've been on the front half of it all day long. You can see the spin back toward the northwest of Wichita. That's the backside of the system. That's going to head toward us late tonight. Southeastern Kansas, you're mainly getting drizzle, still some showers, Pittsburgh, Columbus, down toward Miami, Grand Lake. The rain still picks up a little bit once you get into southwestern Missouri, and you can see some pockets mixing with a little bit of snow, and then turns over to snow once you get toward Lamar, Nevada, and Stockton Lake. But all this is going to calm down quite a bit as we go through the next couple hours, and then picks up again late tonight as the upper level low shifts through the region. Temperatures will drop, the winds will pick up. So let's work through time. Here's 9:30 p.m. Heaviest rain pushes east. But by midnight, you can see the back edge of this storm starts to rotate in. Could start as a little bit of rain, but then should switch to light to moderate snow very quickly. Temperatures drop. So here's 6 a.m. If you are going to be up by 6, it should be snowing. Light to moderate snow continues to push east. So here's 10 a.m. calming down on the Kansas and the Oklahoma side. And then everybody will start to see snow tapering once we get into the afternoon. And then we'll start to clear out a little bit once we get into tomorrow evening. How much are we going to get? Not a lot, but enough that it could still cause some issues. A dusting to an inch, southern counties, Joplin to Pittsburgh, 1, maybe an inch and a half, still 2 to 4 in our northern counties. Let's look at the impacts. We'll make it kind of a moderate impact of snow because we are going to have some slippery spots, no ice, cold, yeah, it's cold, but a high impact with the wind because the winds are going to be gusting nearly 40 miles per hour. As we go through the day tomorrow, we kind of hold into lower 30s, but check this out. Look at these wind gusts, 35, 40 miles per hour by morning. So if your trash can's out, you may want to drag that in because it's going to get super windy as we go through the overnight hours tonight. This is just our first system. Then we have more over the next 7 days. All right, alert day tomorrow due to light snow. Back to 47 Wednesday. Rain and snow move back in Thursday night into Friday. Arctic air by the weekend. We don't even want to discuss that yet.
Yeah, I don't like that word Arctic when it comes to the weather. By the way, as the week goes on, you're going to have to give us a specific Arrowhead Saturday night forecast.
Very, very cold.
Very, very cold. Okay, there's going to be a very, very hot game there that night. Thanks, Doug. Still ahead, Pitt State football brings on a familiar face as an assistant coach, and multiple NFL head coaches get fired after the end of the regular season. Yeah, no surprise, really. John Dales has those stories and more up next.
The area's favorite premier gaming destination is starting 2024 with
Quarter Pound Double Cheeseburger.
Prearrange your services at Bath Naylor and Frisco Funeral Home today.
Just over a month after being introduced as Pitt State's next head football coach, Tom Anthony completes his coaching staff for the 2024 season. This afternoon, the Gorillas welcome the final 2 new members to their staff. One of them is a name that Gorilla Nation will remember quite well. In fact, they haven't had any time to forget his name. That's Trace Jeffries, who just finished his college playing career with PSU as an offensive lineman. He'll be an offensive graduate assistant under Tom Anthony in 2024. He was a 3-time All-MIAA performer and a 2-time Division II All-American. Now, here are all the additions that Anthony has made to his staff since being hired a month ago. Brian B.K. Smith, the second to be hired today, along with Jeffries. He'll be the running backs coach and was the cornerbacks coach at Central Missouri this year. They join Bill and Kevin Blyle, Greg Hollins, Mark Smith, who comes to PSU from Frontenac High School, and Cody Williams as the other fresh faces on the Gorilla sideline for the upcoming season. Over to the NFL. As of late last night, we now know what time all the games will be played for Wild Card Weekend, including the Chiefs hosting the Dolphins. Now, important note for all of our viewers, this game will not be available through any cable packages. It is exclusive to NBC's streaming app, Peacock. It kicks off Saturday night, 7 p.m. at Arrowhead. It's a rematch of the November 5th game in Germany where Kansas City beat Miami 21-14. And again, for our Chiefs fans, you got 5 days to work on this game, only available through Peacock. You can't find it on any cable channels. Elsewhere in the NFL, today is known as Black Monday, with the regular season ending last night. Coach firings commonly happen today. Falcons head coach Arthur Smith, one of them. He's fired after 3 seasons and no playoff berths. And the Commanders fire their head coach Ron Rivera after 4 years without a winning season. Now, those aren't the only 2 transactions made today across the league. The Carolina Panthers fired their head coach midway through the season. Today, they fire their general manager, Scott Fitterer. And in one of the more surprising moves of the day, New York Giants defensive coordinator Wink Martindale resigns after 3 seasons at the helm. He's likely to be a highly sought-after defensive coordinator or even head coach elsewhere in the league. Moves not just being made in the NFL today. St. Louis Cardinals general manager John Mozeliak announces Chaim Bloom is hired as advisor to the president of baseball operations. He served as the chief baseball officer for the Red Sox from 2019 through 2023. He was fired by the team in September of this year after they went 5 games over 500 in his time. Now, finishing things up with the college football playoff, tonight the national championship has Michigan playing Washington in the final college football game until August. Now, the national title game in Houston kicking off in just a matter of minutes. Wolverines and Huskies each enter the night with a record of 14-0. Michigan is a 5.5-point favorite. Washington hasn't won a national championship since 1991. Michigan's last was 1997. We'll keep you updated on the score throughout the night. This is also the final night of the 4-team college football playoff era. Next year, it's going to be 12 teams making it into the playoff.
Yeah, that'll be nice because a lot of teams are right on the bubble that probably should get in. You think anybody's going to be upset by the fact that the playoff game is only going to be on Peacock?
I think a lot of people are going to be upset
no
about
doubt
that.
about it.
Yeah.
We'll be right back.
Stars, Vietnam Campaign Medal, and the National Defense Service Medal. We are proud to salute Dennis Wilson, a 4-state hero.
Here's a look at what's coming up on KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. We're going to hear from a local tow truck driver about staying safe while you're driving in these wintry conditions. Plus, Fort Scott Public Library gives residents a chance to play with a variety of robots. Yeah. And how one school is giving students a place to reset from the challenges of daily life. Those stories, a lot more, of course, it's coming up tonight. KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. A Carthage woman and Kansas City Chiefs Super Fund celebrated a big milestone. Helen Hubbard, remember her? Today she turned 104 years old. Family and friends from the community came out to celebrate with her on this special day. That celebration included music and, of course, a customized Chiefs cake. We've done a number of stories with Helen over the years. Hey, don't forget, you can be the first to know about today's weather with the KOAM Skywatch weather app. Get severe weather updates sent straight to your phone free of charge. It's available in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. Just go to search for KOAM Skywatch weather app. Getting back to Helen Hubbard, those stories we've done with her over the years you can find on our website. You might remember we did a Super Bowl promo with her way back when she was only 100 years old.
Yeah, the 2019 season.
Yes, we
so
wish
at the
her.
Beginning of 20.
That's right.
2020.
That's right. We wish her well. Happy
Absolutely.
birthday. The weather.
All right, drizzle mainly for the next several hours, and then light snow picks up late tonight into tomorrow morning. An alert day because some of the roads are going to be slippery.
Final sports note.
Another big sports story from today. Tiger Woods and Nike ending their partnership after 27 years.
A lot of money has changed hands in that relationship.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us. We'll see you right back here at 10. Be careful out there and let's make it a great evening.
Live closed captioning on KOAM News is sponsored by Aaron Sachs and Associates.